Hey guys, I'm here at Jackson Creek with Tucker from Titan Homes, and we're about to take a walk on this gorgeous home behind us. And Tucker's going to tell us why this is such a special house. I'm excited you're here today. Let's dive in.
All right, so right when you come up to this house, you can tell there's something different about it, and that's this zip system sheething.
What is a zip system?
So the zip system is your waterproof, weatherproof barrier all in one. A lot of builders use Tyvek. Nothing wrong with Tyvek. This is just a better upgrade. It's
Cool.
a better system. So the house just has a standard 7/16 zip. Nothing too crazy about that. You'll see other builders bring that to their product lines. One thing that we do different on this house is the zip R sheeting. So this has 1 inch of continuous insulation outside of the house. So instead of having a normal R21 insulation cavity, now you have R27, and you don't have any of the heat loss that can happen through studs. So this should be a much more efficient house. The zip system, all the seams are taped, which obviously protects water from coming in, but it also should make the house much more airtight. So you don't, an older house, you'll have drafts, and if the wind's pushing against the house, you'll feel either heat or cold coming through it. You won't have that with this house. So all the energy that you're spending to heat and cool the house will stay in the house.
Very cool. And is it green? Is the green part, is that a waterproof coating?
Yeah, so the green part
Okay.
is a waterproof coating. It allows us to get the house watertight much faster. There's no
Got it.
second step. Tyvek a lot of times isn't installed properly, and if it's sitting for a while.
And Tyvek, that's the plastic sheets they put on the outside?
Yeah,
So the difference would be you do OSB, no insulation layer, and then a plastic wrap.
correct.
As opposed to this system, which has an insulation backing with an OSB middle and then waterproof coating on the outside?
Yep.
Very cool.
And a lot of times, if a house doesn't get sided right away, that Tyvek will rip and it
Yeah.
never gets put back on properly. So this is a really stellar upgrade.
Yeah.
We also have this detail here on the foundation. This continues that waterproof barrier, and it also helps air seal the house even more.
Cool.
So this is all airtight to your foundation. This point here, you can see this insulation. This is really standard sill sealer. That just helps prevent any air coming through in between that green plate and your foundation.
Right.
This gives it even more airtight. So not only airtight, you should see a lot less bug intrusion into this house, because that's the main point of failure for air and bug intrusion. So that's a really stellar detail that we included on this house as well.
So I've never seen the Zip R system. Is that unique? Like, that's
Yeah.
I can't go find that somewhere else. Is that right?
Yeah, no. For what I know, I spoke with the Zip rep. We're one of the first builders to bring this R6 here. There's some that use an R3, so it's a smaller version of this, and that's mostly up in the mountains. This is a very special product that we have not really seen here.
And this is a 3,500 square foot house, so I'm assuming this system makes the energy efficiency of heating and cooling stand out.
Substantial.
Cool.
Yeah. We work with an energy rating company, and we get a HERS rating. HERS rating is common for new home builds. Just adding this, I think, gave us 10 points on our HERS score, which is a massive.
That's massive.
Jump.
How much do you usually see a points scale swing on a Hertz rating?
It's very hard.
Yeah.
Especially we've been building energy efficient houses for a long time. It's hard to squeeze those points out once you're kind of already within your process.
Got it. So it's a big jump.
So this is a really big jump.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, we're standing inside this incredible garage. I just got to take a quick look at it here. 45 feet, fit anybody's RV in here. But one of the coolest things last time I walked the house was this cooling system and this air transfer system that I'm butchering already. So I'm gonna let Tucker take it.
All right, so this unit right here, it's also something new that you don't see here very often. It's called an HRV. It's a heat recovery ventilator. So what this does, it kind of goes in line with the zip system. we're anticipating this house to be much more airtight than our standard homes. Our code, not to get too nerdy, is you have to be under 5 air changes per hour, and that's how they calculate how leaky a house is. Once your house gets a certain air tightness, you have to start bringing in fresh air in order to get pollutants out of the house. You can kind of get a stale feeling in the house if it's too airtight and you're not handling the fresh air coming in. A standard fresh air system is basically just a duct that comes in to the furnace at the return before the filter. The issue with that is if it's 110, like it's been over 100 here for the last 3 weeks, is when you're pulling that fresh air in, you're pulling in 110 degree air, or 110 is exaggerating. Same thing with the cold. So if it's 0 degrees outside, you're pulling in that cold air and it makes your house much more less efficient. So what this does is it has 4 ports. So it has an intake from the outside, so that'll be your fresh air. It has an exhaust to the outside. It has an intake from the house and a supply into the house. And so it's pulling the stale air out of your house, exhausting it out, bringing fresh air in, and supplying it. It goes across a heat exchanger, and what it does is it tempers that air. So instead of
what do you mean by that?
So instead of bringing 100 degree air, it's going to be closer to your thermostatic setting.
And what's the advantage? Then we're not overloading the system as it tries to cool down or heat up that air?
Yeah, correct. Essentially, a standard fresh air system is like opening a window on a hot or cold day. Obviously, if you're standing by that window, you're going to feel it.
Yep.
This is not like opening a window. It's almost neutral as far as the heat or cool that you bring into your house in order to get that fresh air.
So less strain on the system, and then potentially more efficient temperature control inside the home.
Yeah, super efficient. This is also another thing. The HERS rating, I think we gained maybe 5 points on this. So another substantial boost on this house that we haven't seen. And then this will have a controller right next to the thermostat. So if you're having a bunch of people over and the house starts getting a smell or stale air, you can go over and control it right away. You can turn this guy on high. It's going to use the whole house fan in the furnace to circulate all of that air, so you maintain fresh air all the time.
Very cool. And I mean, we're standing right next to it. Is that a hot and cold water bib in the garage here?
Yeah, so this is something we include in this series of house. Basically, this is just like a kitchen faucet, so you can get the water perfect temperature. You're washing your car.
So it's got a mixer?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so this is just the hot valve, this is the cold, so you just kind of twist it to how you want.
Nice.
And you're gonna have very comfortable temperature for water.
And then you got hot water out here if you need it. That's great.
Yeah, correct.
Very cool.
Okay, so another feature of this house, it's a big house, has a lot of bedrooms. We're going to want to make sure that we have enough hot water to meet the demand. So we're going to put 2 50-gallon high efficiency gas water heaters in this house with a recirculating system right here. So this pipe runs to the other side of the house. There'll be a recirculating pump up above, and what that's going to do is it's going to maintain hot water in your pipes at all times.
By circulating the hot water through the pipes.
Correct.
Rather than them just sitting in the pipes and getting cold.
Correct.
So you don't have to wait for the water to run when it's like instant hot.
It's almost, yeah, it's basically an instant hot.
For the
there'll
whole
be
house.
some cold, but you will have a hot shower on the other end of the house within 30 seconds.
Very cool.
So you're not wasting water, you're not sitting there waiting for it. It's a common complaint that people get when they get a big house. A lot of builders don't think about this. And we want to make sure that, hey, when you're ready, if you're trying to wash your hands in the bathroom across the house from the water heater, because it's the distance that's the problem, that you're not washing your hands with cold. Because by the time a lot of people get done washing their hands, then the hot water starts coming.
Very cool.
So this solves that problem.
Especially in a house this big.
Correct.
Single story home this big. I
Single
imagine
story.
that guy in the back.
Yeah, because
Very cool.
those other bathrooms, they're on the far side of that house. So this alleviates that problem completely.
Beautiful. All right, Tucker, here we are in the flex room off of the house here, which is, you know, sort of ADU kind of bonus room with some significant upgrades in it. You had mentioned it has a separate cooling system. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so here's the thermostat wire. So this part of the house is going to have its own thermostat control that allows you to kind of use the space how you see fit.
But that's not a zone. That's not like a zone off of the system.
No, correct. This is a completely separate system. So we put a ducted mini split in here.
What's that? I never heard of that.
So mini splits are really common in bonus rooms.
Okay.
When they're up, you know, up in the trusses. And those are those big wall units.
Oh, those clunky looking things?
Yeah, the clunky looking things. They're really great for bonus rooms. They fit in almost any space. But the problem is if you're sitting underneath those, that air is blowing directly on you all the time.
And it's on the wall, right? That's like a visible wall unit.
Yeah, it's a visible wall unit. So this is going to have the efficiency of a mini split. It's going to be an electric heat pump, super efficient. Once again, keeping with the theme of energy efficient house. And then this has a standard air handler in here that will bring the ducts up into the ceiling as if it was like a normal
cool
system.
Got it. So it won't look different. It'll look like the rest of the house, only it will be its own temperature, hot and cold.
Yeah.
So if somebody was actually living in this space like an ADU, potentially they're not controlling the rest of the house. They get this own little temperature controlled space.
Yes, it's its own space completely. It's going to have an exterior rated door right there. So this will maintain the heat and cold. Perfect for whoever wants to be in here.
That's awesome. And I've seen ductless splits, but never like this where it doesn't have the wall unit. So that's super cool. And then it'll have its own little heat pump outside that basically runs independently.
Runs independently. They're super silent. Hardly going to hear it. And they're super energy efficient.
Very cool. All right, Tucker, I'm looking in this bathroom. Like, obviously this is a cool space, but these studs look different and I'm wondering why.
Yeah, so these are called LSL studs. So a standard stud is cut straight from a tree. There's imperfections in it
like these ones over here.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. As that stud dries, it can warp, it can twist. It's not a true 2x4. We know, so this is going to be where the freestanding tub is going to be. So we know that this whole wall is going to be tile.
Okay.
On long runs of tile, if you start off with a better stud, you get a better finished tile product.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So basically these are true studs, like it's level. There's no variance in the warp and or lean of the stud, allowing for a cleaner tile finish.
Yeah, these are engineered from the lumber company to be as true and as perfect as you can be. They call it rough framing for a reason. Typical framing is rough, and that's it works well for the building industry, but we're thinking a little bit further ahead and trying to get the best possible finish possible, so we decided to bring this product in.
Yeah, it's another thing I've never seen before, and I see a bunch of it in here. Is there a lot of tile in this bathroom?
Yes, there's going to be a lot of tile in this bathroom. So there's going to be a full tiled shower. You're going to have a niche here, and then you can also see I'm standing in a hole. So this is dropped intentionally so that we can get a curbless shower in here.
Is that zero threshold?
Zero threshold.
Very cool.
You don't have to step over anything. And then we're gonna have a big glass door here. It's gonna wrap up and come around this bench.
Cool.
And this corner of the bench is actually gonna act as a shelf for the freestanding tub. So there's a lot of thought that has come into what this bathroom is gonna finish like, and that thought has started since we started building the crawl space.
I love it. And the bench and the niche is a cool feature, because then you actually can sit there and not just put your stuff on it.
Correct.
And zero threshold, I mean, that's in any phase of living luxury right there.
Yeah, super nice.
Very cool. All right, Tucker, I keep hearing about the closet build out in this master. Can you tell me a little bit about what's going to happen in here?
So this closet is going to be true luxury. It's going to be a true ensuite experience. There's going to be nothing builder grade about this closet. This closet is coming straight from our custom cabinet shop. It's going to match the kitchen cabinets and the cabinets throughout the rest of the house. So it's going to have that same flow and feel. It's going to have a stackable washer and dryer behind you, so you don't even have to leave your suite in order to do the laundry. Everything stays right here, and it's really well thought out. This is going to be more like a California closet. People are really familiar with that company versus a standard paint grade that a lot of builders do.
And everyone was talking about a frontage mirror, and then like a long hang in the middle, kind of like a very, very interesting, beautiful closet is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, so I kind of have it drawn out here.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you can see. It's going to come out to about here. This is going to have a bench so you can sit. There's going to be a mirror behind that, and then it's going to come up and over, and then this is actually going to kind of be a walkthrough. So you'll have some shelves here and some shelves here, but you'll actually be able to have this open space so you can put really long dresses,
Nice.
Your more formal attire right there.
Cool.
It's really well thought out.